And there are some people who believe that these so-called beings need certain stargates, but that is more of a primitive idea. These beings are so advanced, they can come through the mini black holes that are the size of a pinprick, that are now really accelerating all around the Earth. What is happening is that the sun, the cosmos, is affecting your beliefs about what you think the world is. And so magnetism, gravity, electromagnetic frequencies, all of this is not as reliable. It's not as solid, scientifically solid as one thought it was. And this is shimmering and shifting. So it's really hard to track. There's no facts to base it on. And so this is confounding everything, and this is rightly so. All of these energies are helping to create whirlpools or whirlwinds or more anomalies that are resulting in what are called mini black holes. And these mini black holes, and the quality of a black hole would be a small portal or a time warp. So technically speaking, these sun gates, stargates are not necessarily needed, that were used by the ancient people. You could easily, as you raise your consciousness, have flurries of mini black holes in your backyard. And these beings can use them to pop through. And we don't recommend you going with them. And we don't recommend you attempting to find these mini black holes and to journey in them, but you can do it in your mind. This is all based on where the internet can help you navigate around realities. The internet, inner, I-N-N-E-R, is not just about your own inner Google machine, your own inner browser. It is about an inner net that will allow you to travel as well in your mind with the third eye, with the body, with the energetic field, or with the etheric body, so to speak. We said a lot right there. Note takers, did you get all that down? Margaret, you were writing all that stuff there. Yes. She's really working at it. Daniel, what else? What does that arise for you? What did that trigger for you?
So, does that mean that as the big transition occurs, the elite think that the gods are going to save them from our transition?
There is a belief in that capacity that these elite believe they are the offspring of these gods, that they have the god genes in them. And it's a belief, let us say. This is why in the last 20 years you've had this push on the genome. This frenetic attempt to decode the genes and to understand it. Now we'll say this to you, all this gene therapy, all this gene selectivity and all this tracking of the genes, it's a lot of baloney. Because the genes change all the time. It's not like saying, let's go look here and see, and oh, here it is, and it's always going to be the same. The gene pool, the genome is fluid, and your DNA changes with every idea and every decision and every intention that you make. You enrich your genes. In many ways, the genes that the gods put on your planet were planned and were also accidental, meaning that the gods came down and they found the ladies lovely, and there it went. They had orgies. There was also distinct genetic experimentation in laboratories. These laboratories were not only on Earth, they were located on Mars. This is why your planet is given up a little bit on the moon. They can't get there, number one, because who's ever there won't let them on. And they've had to compromise to have some bases there. But they're realizing that the clues to Earth are on Mars. And they have been lying to you for years about everything that's being discovered on Mars, including water. They've known for a long time that water's there. Now suddenly, more water, more water. Oh, it's a big deal, water on Mars. It's always been there. Mars lost a lot when there were wars in the heavens. And Mars was a base for much genetic experimentation. Some of the visitors were stationed on Mars, others were stationed on Moon, and then the Living Library was the ground zero for real laboratory experimentation. And this is only one story, one historical story that has come out of the Middle East. And it obsesses the military. They want to be in these locations, and they are preparing for some really big stuff. They use remote viewing. They have technology that they have received from ETs. Small technology, say smaller than the size of this crystal that we are holding, which is what, about the size of a peach or something, a pear. And small technologies that they can put in your hand and say, all right, flip it around, look in it, and suddenly a huge, gigantic screen opens up in front of you. So remote viewing, which is done sort of on a psychic level, is one very primitive way. We say primitive because the people using remote viewing do not have the respect and the value for consciousness, so it's going to be primitive for them. Actually, to use the mind is the most sophisticated way. But some of these ETs have become, that are future versions of your world, have become so overly enamored of technology, they have lost all their biological abilities. So for them to give you a small cube and to say, look at it, and it opens up into some window of reality that you can step into and see your childhood, and see into the future, and see here, there, and everywhere. The ETs have turned the military on to devices that appear to show the future. We say appear to show the future because there are, as we said last night, many futures. So who knows which future is coming to you? And which future you are going to meet is going to depend on what you are focused on. So your global elite and your military are in for some big surprises. Who else has a question? Yes.
Ed.
Ed, welcome.
Is there a stream of consciousness that one can follow to lead them on a higher vibration or a purer path?
And what do you mean when you say stream of consciousness?
In journeying and with guides and teachers, how to set the intent so that you're reaching the highest level of consciousness.
You yourself?
Yes.
Right. Intention always opens all doors. And sometimes you have great expectations of things happening, or sometimes bigger than great expectations do occur. And you think, oh, there's going to be more and more and more of this. The progress that all of you make comes in spurts, comes in roller coaster rides. And it is the consistency of your intent to evolve your being that will always continue the opening. Now, if you are looking for an acceleration, and any of you want things to happen faster and quicker, then you need to say, hey, seems like I'm at a plateau, guides, and I want to have a quickening. But be careful when you ask for these quickenings, because how do the quickenings happen? Usually the quickening happens in regular life. The mundane world suddenly starts demanding your attention. You have to deal with something. And you gain awareness and you gain higher consciousness. You achieve all of that based on how you deal in the 3D world. So it doesn't make any difference really what the issue is. It's how you handle the issues. And journeying in any capacity, whether you are doing it through drumming, whether you are doing it through trance states, whether you are doing it through sweat lodges, a dream state, the clear intent can really keep pushing the door open. And then sometimes you just have to wait for events to come around for you. So keep focused, Ed, on your intentions, absolutely, and keep your vibration as high as possible. And again, the more sacred or shamanic activities that you engage in that treat the world with respect and have sacredness for humanity, for life, for the cosmos, this is felt. And then things are given to you.